If you're totally new to credit cards or you're just getting started on your credit journey, it can be complicated to pick the right card when you have hundreds of different credit cards on the market to choose from. And by picking the wrong card, you can cause yourself to miss out on some nice benefits as well as earning cash back and other rewards. So that's why in this video, we're gonna go over what I think are some of the best beginner credit cards when getting started. Now, I do want to mention, if you're starting from scratch with credit cards, there's two options you might want to think about first. One way is getting a secured credit card, which is a type of credit card that requires you put a security deposit down, and the amount that you deposit in the account is what becomes your credit limit. So if you make a $300 security deposit, then you'll have a $300 limit. The purpose of a security card is to build your credit and show that you're responsible, so in the near future, you can get approved for a traditional credit card. Second would be a student credit card, which you can imagine you need to be enrolled as a student. It's not a secured card, so no need to worry about a deposit, but you will need some sort of income, and the credit history might be required, so you're not guaranteed an approval. And while you can get more rewards and benefits with student cards, the reality is, between the two, the secured card will be the easier one to get. The first card on the list is definitely one geared more towards beginners, and it's possible to make it your first credit card, and that's the Chase Freedom Rise card. This card is designed for people who are new to credit and building credit. And if we take a look at this card on Chase's website, you can see that they advertise this card with the expectation that this may be your first credit card. And Chase does mention that by having a Chase checking account with at least $250 in it will increase your chances of being approved for this card. Also, in the terms, it says that the account needs to be open before applying for the card, and the funds deposited within 48 hours of the application. So be sure to keep this in mind to try and keep the approval odds in your favor. Now, this card does have a few benefits that come with it, as well as you can get rewards through your spending. So the Freedom Rise card earns you 1.5% cash back on all purchases, as well as 5% cash back on Lyft rides through March 2025. For benefits, you'll be getting things like a $25 statement credit after signing up with automatic payments within the first 3 months of opening an account. And you'll also have the chance to be qualified for a credit limit increase as soon as 6 months. This card will also give you a variety of protections like purchase protection, extended warranty protection, you have trip cancellation and interruption insurance, and much more, along with some partner benefits like 3 months of Dash Pass with DoorDash and 3 months of Instacart Plus membership. If you're new to building credit, this card could be a nice place to start, as well as getting your foot in the door to Chase's great card ecosystem. The second card is a good choice for new card holders as it's easy to get approved for, and that's the Discover It card. This card comes with no annual fee, so it's free to hold, and it has a 0% intro APR for 15 months on purchases and balance transfers. So this means that 0% interest will be for the first 15 months, and then after that period, you'll have a variable rate from 17 to 28%. So this cashback card is gonna get you 5% cashback on rotating quarterly categories on up to $1,500 spent. So every quarter of the year, you'll have a different spending category to earn that 5% on, up to a maximum of $1,500 of purchases. For example, if we take a look at categories for the first quarter of 2024, you have restaurants and drugstores. And if we jump back to 2023, you can see different categories that you could have earned throughout the year, like grocery stores, restaurants, Amazon, and others. For other purchases outside the quarterly categories, you'll only be earning 1% cash back, but Discover did add something almost like a sign-up bonus, and that's an unlimited cash back match. So at the end of your first year of having the card, you get an unlimited match dollar for dollar on all the cash back you had earned in the first year. So 365 days of having the card. This means that 5% on quarterly categories is doubled to 10% cash back, and the 1% on all other purchases will be 2% cash back. This gives you room to earn a lot more value back from your spending on this card, and makes it worth a lot more to use this card for other spending that you may have. Aside from the cash back, this card really doesn't offer you much else. While you do have no foreign transaction fees, I wouldn't really suggest you depend on this card in other countries, since Discover really isn't that widely accepted outside of the US. Also, if you're getting some value from this, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe below to help support the channel if you haven't already. But getting back to it, this next card offers some pretty nice benefits, and it's a card that I believe has some great earnings and can meet the needs for many people, and that's the Capital One Saver One Rewards card. Now, while this card doesn't have a sign-up bonus, it still manages to be a well-rounded card with no annual fee and some nice features like getting you 3% cash back at grocery stores, 3% on dining, popular streaming services, and entertainment, and then 1% on all other purchases. You also have other cashback features like 10% back on Uber and Uber Eats, which includes credits to cover an Uber One membership until November 2024, and then 8% back on Capital One entertainment purchases, as well as 5% back on rental cars and hotels that you book on Capital One's travel portal. Then for benefits, you have no foreign transaction fees, extended warranty protection, travel accident insurance, and a handful of other things. I think this card really gives you some great value back with spending in groceries or dining out and entertainment, especially for those of you with families, considering there's no spending limit. Now, an important thing that I want to point out is that there are 3 versions or tiers of this card, which can make it a bit confusing. And this is something Capital One does for some of their other cards as well. But the card we're talking about is the Saver One card for good credit, which is on the left. But you can see there's a normal Saver One here in the middle, and the difference is that this one requires excellent credit. And this version comes with a sign-up bonus of $200 after spending $500, as well as 0% intro APR for the first 15 months. So just be aware of which card it is when you're applying. Getting into the 4th card on the list, we have the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards card. In order to get approved for this card, you should look to have a score of at least 670. The Customized Cash card comes with a sign-up bonus of $200 cash back after you spend $1,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. And it has a 0% APR for the first 15 months as well, and it has no annual fees. So when it comes to the cash back, one cool thing with this card is that you get 3% cash back in a category of your choice each quarter. As for the categories, you have 6 to choose from, and that includes dining, travel, online shopping, home improvement and furnishing, drugstores, and gas and EV charging stations. Along with each month, you can choose to change the category if you want, or if not, it'll just stay the same. Then you're gonna get 2% cash back at grocery stores and wholesale clubs, and then 1% on all other purchases. I think this card gives you some decent flexibility on earning cash back by being able to choose the category that you want, but there is one thing to be aware of, and that's for that 3% and 2% cash back that you earn, you're gonna be limited to $2,500 in combined purchases for the 2 each quarter. And that means after that $2,500 that you spend, you're only gonna be earning 1%. So if your spending is much higher for groceries, dining out, or another big spend category, then it might be better for you to go with a card that you can get more than 1% without having those limitations. Next up is another great beginner credit card with some nice reward earnings, and that's the Amex Blue Cash Everyday card. To get approved for this card, it's recommended to have a score of at least 670 or higher. Now, this card has a welcome bonus of $200 after spending $2,000 in the first 6 months, which you'll receive that $200 back as a statement credit. And while this $2,000 spend is higher compared to other cards, the plus side with Amex is that they give you 6 months rather than the typical 3 months that you see with other cards to hit that spend amount for the bonus. Now, for the cashback earnings, you're gonna get 3% cash back on groceries at US supermarkets, 3% cash back on US online retail purchases, along with 3% on gas stations. And for each one of these categories, that 3% reward is only gonna be earned for the first $6,000 of purchases, and anything beyond that will earn you 1%. And while this card isn't loaded with benefits, you do get a few things like an $84 Disney Plus credit, which is $7 back a month in statement credits. And then you have a $180 Home Chef credit, which comes out to $15 a month back for the year. And then Amex also covers you with secondary rental car insurance, as well as a 90-day purchase protection that covers accidental damage or theft. I will say this is a nice card for those that want cash back in groceries, online shopping, and gas. But if you're someone with a higher spend, especially in groceries, that $6,000 cap may make this card not worth it for you compared to another card that doesn't have this limit. This next card here, I'd say is one of the most popular beginner credit cards, and that's the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. This is another card that you'll have a higher chance of approval if you have a score of 670 or higher. This card has a sign-up bonus that gets you $200 back after spending $500 in the first 3 months, as well as you get 5% cash back on gas station and grocery store purchases combined, up to $12,000 in the first year. For a lower tier beginner credit card, this is definitely a pretty generous welcome offer, considering you still get some good features, which the Freedom Unlimited will be getting you 5% cash back on travel that you book through Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, 3% back on dining at restaurants and takeout, 3% on drugstore purchases, and then 1.5% back on all other purchases. And as for the benefits, these would be like the Freedom Rise card, where you had those travel coverages and other protections, along with the partner benefits of DoorDash and Instacart Plus memberships, and that 5% cash back with Lyft rides. With that bonus of 5% cash back on groceries for the first year, this can really allow you to get some nice extra value from the Unlimited card, as it can even be used for more of a grocery store focus card, especially since food tends to be one of the higher spend areas for most people. Now, while this is a great beginner credit card, it's important to know that unlike the Freedom Rise card, where you can have little to no credit, for the Freedom Unlimited card, Chase does prefer you to have a minimum of at least 12 months or more of credit history. But all in all, this is a hard card to go wrong with, and aside from the great value that it offers, if you're planning to build up points and miles for the long run, then there is a lot of value that you can gain from the combination of this card and other card offerings in Chase's card ecosystem. Now, hopefully this gave you a better idea of some card options out there when getting started. But if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.